Okay, we're ready to go. Let me close my door. All right, so we're starting on page Kuf Mem Dalid. Read across the top. Over Natifas Tallis, the way that you put on the Tallis. Batam Lama Nashim Batuchas Minatzitzis. So they're getting over here and they're saying these two different ideas. So he says the Tallis only reaches to the Chazit. Now, later in the Pirush, he explains that he's talking about the Tallis of Zeranpen. Shehu Robo Shel Guf Adam, which is the majority of a man's body, so it comes to the Chazit. So I guess that's the upper third. Because he says the reason why it only reaches there, now, offhand, he says that's the reason. And over there by the nukva, there's no aspect of the talus, so therefore the talus there only reaches so far. It only reaches to the chazah. So this is the reason that women are pater from the tzitzis. So the tzitzis, it's a little bit unclear why it would be that because that the talus of zeranpin only reaches to a certain point, that therefore automatically she wouldn't have a talus. So because that's the reason why. So these four tzitzis, let me get this down right. So these four tzitzis, so they come out from the male and they surround the female, which is underneath the chazah. So he said the tzitzis themselves come and cover her. Which would be, he said, which is apparently masculine. I don't really hear this. I don't know grammar that well, but instead it's called tzitzis instead of tzitz. Lohoros, that is to show us al shehem makifim as in nekeva, and that's to tell you that it's in a female form. That tzitzis is female. That shows that the tzitzis themselves, not the talus, but the tzitzis themselves really refer to the female. So therefore this reason, it's necessary, he said, for the Gaonim, they say that you have to make a nativas like the Yishmaelim. And what you do is you take the tzitzis that are on the right side, el sad small to the left side. Both of she is chavru sham b'tzad the small. So in a way that's like this, that the four tzitzis all gathered together, I guess. So he says that they all wind up on the left side, ma'achrav on the back side of on the back side called arba tzitzius. That is all the tzitzis, all four of them, swing around to the back. B'yiro teluyim ma'achrav b'tzad the small, so that they be hanging down on the back of. Here we're talking about a person, or those zeranpen, mitzad small on the left. But makom, which is, where is that? In the back on the left. So this is the place where the nukva is built on the back of the chazah. And let's go see what the Tiv has to say on this piece. We're starting on number Tes Vav, and the Tes Vav in the Tiv. So he says, Uberatipas hatalis agodol, hatalis megia rak adachaz shel adam. So therefore, the talis would only reach to a man's chest. Shezeh hamakom hu achrei shlosh elyonis the teferis. Now he's talking about, I'm sure when he says the word adam, since he's talking about teferis, that he's talking about zeranpin. Shesham hu rovo shel guf adam, because that's where the majority of the body of a person is. I think that's questionable because there's 2/3 down below, but I'm not sure. But that's what the Rav says. Now that's a question, is it why does it only go to the chaza? She said, because we can see from our own bodies what's going on with Zer Anpin. The man in this world, who dugmas zaka v'yochel, we are similar in the way that we're constructed. So now we're saying the Tallis represents the makif as Zer Anpin. Now he doesn't explain why. Why does it only go to the chazer? So he's talking about here the makifim, and he says that makifim really only cover the first part of the of Tiferes and then and the Rosh, below the mata b'sham, but not below there. Because the reason, now he said this is the reason, because around the back and starting at the chaza, that's where the nook is. So I guess that what he's saying, I mean, I really don't understand the reason why it only goes to that place, unless you say that she has to have her own set of makifim, and so his makifim don't interfere with hers. So she's from the chaz of the mata of Achrav in the back of Zer Anpin. V'meila ein bechinas Tallis the mata of the chaz of the zah, because she's there, that the aspect of these of the Tallis does not go down below into her area. The ficha gam ba'adam etachnu the holomenu, even us. Hatallis shehi or hamakif, the Tallis, which is the symbol or the connection to the or hamakif, magia batifa rak hachaz of the vad. Now he says it reaches. It's only in the Atifa that it reaches that place. So it seems to me that idea is not really heavily developed exactly, unless I use the answer that I gave. This is that she's independent of him, and his Tallis, his makifim only cover up to his chaza. That's a question too. Why does it only cover the chaza? So therefore the women are parted from tzitzis. So let me just speculate on something else. He said, why would it be that the makifim, which are basically, what are they? They're the lam and the mem of the tzelem. He says they only reach around the head and to the chest. So I guess because the tzadi, the tzelem, goes into Zer Anpin, I'm not really sure that I understand why it would be like that. So therefore women don't have to wear tzitzis. I think the word should have been the Tallis, but he said the tzitzis. Anyway, this is Rav writing. Because his Tallis stops at his chazer. Because that's where you start to find the nook. So it is that his territory and his makifim are not her makifim. So now when she goes out below, she's down below his chaza. Okay, we're back again. So he said, let's go to in a light print. It says, women don't have to wear tzitzis. Now, like I said, I think this word should be Tallis. She didn't wear a Tallis. So therefore she doesn't have to do that. Because that's where we find her reality. So since she comes out below the chaza of Zer Anpin, nimsa she'ein lo as bechinas or hamakiv shuha Tallis, so therefore she doesn't have that light. So you have two different things. He says the Tallis only reaches down there, and as a result of that, the makif that we're talking about here, she doesn't have. She'ein bechinas Tallis, there has no Tallis. The ficha gam hanashim the almenu the olomenu paturas min tzitzis, and that's the reason why women do not have to wear tzitzis, because that concept of the makif returns to Zer Anpin and it stops at the Chazah Shalom. So the 4 tzitzis, they come out from the Tallis. As we know, the tzitzis are hanging on the bottom of the Tallis, which is the makif. And the tzitzis themselves wind up surrounding the nook. Because where she's found is found underneath the Chazah Zer Anpin. The Beninsa the Fi Zecher Shechot Tallis ben Ramezes the Or HaMakiv Shel Zah. So therefore we see the Tallis really represents the Makiv Zah. V'chatzitzios, the tzitzis themselves, Yotzes min Tallis ben Ramezes the Or HaMakiv de Nukva. So then the tzitzis themselves refer to the Makiv de Nukva, and when you wrap the tzitzis around yourself, which you're about to say, they go into the territory of the Nukva. That's the reason why it's called tzitzis. It's not called tzitz shuhu lashon zohar. So the kevin shachat tzitzios. So since now these tzitzios, meramazim ala oras amakifim as hanukva dezah. Now the words are that it's a remez to the oras amakifim that are going, that's my understanding, as a nukva dezah, that are going now to the nukva dezah. It's like, once again, Zah is giving to her. The fichoch hem nekroim tzitzis lashon nekeva. The horas al chiyuzim mekifim as a nukva dezah, which is explained to us, these oras mekifim around Zah. That are coming from Zah, but they're making a maki for her. But the siva huzuv hitzricha gaonin hisafi betitzis katsuras atifas Shmuelim. So it's like handling your talis the way that the Shmuelim do it. V'ofen sheyika gam eshtei chatzitzius t'stad yomim. So you take the 2 right ones, v'yachzirach b'tzad small ba'achrav, and they should bring them around the back in his backside. By yedei kain, and through this. Ms. Hadrus call arba tzitzios yachdav. It causes all the tzitzis to become one unit. Nimsus ba'achrav b'tzad small, and as they are found now on the backside on the left. Because arba tzitzios yiyu tuluyu b'tzad small ma'achrav shala adam, so they should all go on the left side on the back of on a man's back. Boven shemakom shala tzitzios ata. Hu b'tzad small ma'achrav is on the left side in his back. Keneged the makam shebo maskil binyan and nukva design. So therefore it's a kavana to understand that this is where the nukva begins, and that he's telling this the fact. He says that the talus of Zer Anpin does not reach below the chaz of Zer Anpin. Shahara Rabbi Igri bin Yanush ala nukva, hu b'tzad small is on the left and in the back of Zer Anpin. So it goes on. This is where she begins to grow. This is her growing place. So we are compared to Zer Anpin. We are a manifestation of Zer Anpin. Is one that he clothes himself with the talus. He wraps himself with his talus. Mikol Sedadav on all of his sides, Panim Va'ach, Adachazar Shalo, and he wraps it around once again, around only to his chest. For who remez al kach, there's a remez to this, Shachazam is Ativ Rosha V'rovo. Okay. Remez al kach sharazam isatev rosha v'rova b'or hamamake b'nikratalis. So he surrounds himself with this talus of a makam b'chazer shebecham mistayemes b'chinas talus. So at his chest, that's the aspect of the talus stops there. B'sham b'tzad ach keneged the chazer maschilin his galos ha'arbetzitzio. So this is where you start to see. He said these words are keneged the chazer maschilin, his galos begin to be revealed. Arba tzitzios, the 4 tzitzios, Shehem remez or hamakif denuk. There is a more makif denuk, but it's below that of Zer Anpin. It's given to her by Zer Anpin apparently from his tzitzis. V'lechein hatzitzios hem b'chaz daika shesham hu makam nukva, and that's what he wants to say is that the makif of Zah is independent from the makif of the Nuk. Now let's go on to read the top of the next one. It's another idea, and he says Masai yeshir lilvosh Tallis gadol v'chatam b'zeh. What's the time? When is it that you need to put on the big Tallis? Gam Rabbeinu Chasad Zal. So now we're coming to the Sadragon. Kaspi Perusha Shechiba Beloshan Shalav Aravi. So he, in his Pirush that he put together in Arabic, Beparshas Bo, Inyan Natif Zu. So he starts talking about this wrapping that we're talking about. V'tov v'nachal na'asos. So that's a good thing to do. The pachos yishar ma'utav kach kadei shir halichas arba amos. So the halacha is that a person has to hold this wrapping at a minimum of what would take to walk 4 amos. Be'esh misate betzitzis. Ba'achar kach, then after that, yaser ra'ituv me'al savaro. Then he removes the wrapping which is around his neck. Min hago shal marizal. This is also the way that the ARI HaKodesh did it. So now what about the rest of the day? So then therefore the person at this time does not have to wear the big tallis. Rak b'tzitzis cotton dilos, but it's sufficient just to have the small tallis on. Ki oz is besa, because Zah then is inside of his house. Shehi ima ilah, which is ima ilah. He will explain this in the Pirush, I think. V'oma besocho ki sham besa, because and he stands within this house, so to speak, because that is his home. Amnam acher shehigdilu shnechem zun, but then after that, with the bringing, I guess, of the moch and the godless. Shehigdilu shnechem zun ubal kul the basic knesses, and now the person has come to the basic knesses. Shehichan nukva basic knessia l'chol, because she is the nukva, the ultimate recipient. She receives everything. She is a pool that receives everything. Os misase betalas gadol. So then the person misate with the big towels. How much more time do we have?
About 3 minutes.
All right, let's see if we can read this through without getting too involved in the Pirush. Gam Rabbeinu Sadya Rabbegon Kos Beperusha Chalater Shetzark La'asos Tifa Katifas Asmaelim. V'tov v'nachon la'asos kach kol zaman shuhum uta betalos. So this is a good idea, all as long as a person is wearing a talis. Kadei lahamshik lizah esa or hamakiv shalatalis, v'lahamshik lanok esa or hamakiv shalatzitzis. So this wrapping of zeranpin works all the way along. V'im ena yochol hishayir ma'uta be'ofen zecha b'kol tivilaso. As yishtadel l'kol ha'pachos shebe'esh misate betzitzis ya'aser atifa keseder hazeh v'yamad kach be'atifasa b'shir kiluk arba amos. At a minimum, that's what a person should do. V'achar she'amba be'atifasa zul keshir chalicha arba amos. So you did that. Yachol hu lahaseh es ha'ituf me'al tzavaru. Then you can remove it. This is the way the Rizal did it in Seder Atifa. He says, only when he's praying. Now that's the fact, that's what he says, it's the halacha. He says, Eladai lo b'mashu levush b'talis cotton levado, that's sufficient, below the talis agado. Now he wants to really kind of point out why. V'ratam lezecha b'chuki b'kol chayom shodoch b'zman tefillah, mistalkim amochem menezah, the mochin leaves zah, v'hu nikned b'bechinas iver b'soch beso. Let's say this again. The reason why is this, because after the tefillah, the mochin of godless that came in during the tefillah leaves their anpin. Habayis who ima ilah. So this place where Zer Anpin, that his shefa comes back, it goes back to ima ilah. He says that Zer Anpin goes back. Ubo shara b'chazera b'bechinas iver b'shar shaus hayom shadach b'eis tefillah. In other words, he's just gestating the rest of the day. So he said shal hazav v'kevan shuhu b'sod iver v'ein lo mochin. The vicho ein bohu b'osa shah esemake shal hatalas agadol. So therefore, he's not in a position of the makif. Ki im as or hamakif shal hatalas akadna amarabes the zman akadna. So only that. V'kol masha shenida shechazecha b'sata b'tavis cotton. Who b'shar shaus hayom. It's all the rest of the hours of the day. Sha'az kuz zman akadnus. Because in the time of Shachris, there's a tremendous growth in them. And now we're going to see Mochan the Gadlus. Who balled by basic anesses. That's when he goes to the basic anesses. Now he's saying here that he already has them without coming to the Shmona Esrei and going through the whole process, that it's already a time of Mochan the Gadlus. Basic anesses berama the nukva, because when you come, it's like the nukva. Ki basic anesses nikra rabishem shuhu bebeis kanusi the kolashemos shal asam. So we said that before. Basic anesses atmo ku shem ben shuhu b'malchus. So therefore, he's in ben, and he's receiving the shefa from up above. Oz hazam isate betalas gadol shahar kavar yeshto as the makiv agadol the gadlus. He said the two words together. It's the makif agadol the gadlus. So the gadol goes with the gadlus. V'hu gam yachol lahamshech lenuk. Then he's also able to bring over to the nuk as the makif agadol shalatzetzes. That's it for today. Thank you for being with me and learning. Kol tuv.